Hello everyone. I am here in the boat on top of the Queen Elizabeth Hall, and it's all been rather frantic these last few hours since 3 p.m. yesterday when I arrived. I've been dreaming about being in this boat since last June when Michael Morris invited me, very lucky to be one of the artists in residence. Thank you. These are my cues because I'm a bit tired because I've only slept for 2 hours, and I'll explain why in a minute. So I'm here in this beautiful boat, feeling very honoured to be one of the artists to be invited to see what good things can come out of my brain, hopefully. Not as much as I'd hoped. I was hoping to have a complete finished song for you today. But, you know, as is evident, this is much about the process as about, you know, the actual finished article. So I'll give you a little bit of backstory in case those of you watching have no idea what's going on. Basically, last weekend, actually even before then, so a year ago, Michael asked me to come and be on this boat. Now I knew it was going to kind of work out that I'd be making my album, because I'm still making my album, and the idea is that I make a new song every 2 or 3 months. So this was kind of roughly going to be Heap Song 6 or 7. So this is now Heap Song 7. And I don't usually have the title before I've written the song, but on this occasion I did, because it came to me, and maybe it's quite obvious, but the song title is You Know Where to Find Me, because you do know where to find me. I'm on the boat, and I knew where I was going to be here for a very long time. So I wanted to find out what the Thames means to other people, because I knew this song was going to be about the River Thames, and I decided that perhaps it might be interesting to do it from the Thames perspective. So a song as sung by the River Thames. Now, obviously, I don't expect the Thames to actually have my voice, or to actually perhaps see anything that I'm going to be saying as if it was from his voice or her voice. I think we all kind of assume it's a him because we call him Father Thames. So I have this thing called the listening chair, which last weekend I asked anyone who fancied it to sit in it and tell me their experiences of the River Thames, their memories, their thoughts, observations, those kinds of things. And I spoke with lots and lots of people. I've always got a bit tired, but I had a great time. I wrote some notes, but we also got some clips from people, which I'm going to show you. I'm going to cue them up. This is all very under-rehearsed because we literally only just did this today. So I've kind of chosen a few YouTube clips that I thought we could reference, and then I could show you how I kind of weaved them into the song. Okay, well, let's start with this one, Driftwood. Can we have Peer Driftwood, please? So this is a young lady who told me the story about her finding a piece of driftwood.
Okay, I'm re-recording this. I actually have a piece of the River Thames in my lounge at home, and what it is a piece of driftwood that was actually taken, don't tell anybody, from the beach, and it's from the old pier that used to be here, and my stereo sits on top of it, and I think it's a lovely piece of wood, and every time I look at it and play my favourite songs, I think of the River Thames.
I was talking about the driftwood that she found on the mud on the sand on the beach of the Thames. She went down there and she found this piece of driftwood, and as a result, took it back home, took a piece of the Thames home, and put her music on top. Anyway, you know that because you just saw that. But I really loved that idea of the driftwood and the music connecting together. So I used the word driftwood in my favourite line of the song. Now, there aren't that many lines because I haven't finished it, but that's my favourite one. I'm just going to get my notes. So this is a woman talking about assemblages.
I love the River Thames. I love rivers because they're water, and at water I get to think. And with my walking group, I've walked the entire length of the River Thames, and it's been an amazing experience seeing a river go from a real working river through a touristy phase, through an activity phase, right up to a lovely little country river that goes into a stream and to no river at all.
She was talking about walking the length of the Thames, and I really resonated with that because I've actually cycled the length of the Thames from the source, from a kind of a boggy patch in a field near Kemble, and followed the route because living here on the river, I always wanted to see where it began, and it began in a boggy patch as one of the many tributaries, but it's the kind of official source of the Thames, and it has a stone there. So I wanted to put that in there as well. So there's a lyric in here which says, "We go a long way back to nothing at all, because she said, right at the end, she said, where the river is nothing at all. And I really like that. So I weaved that in there. I'm going to play you this all in a minute. It's all a bit kind of all over the place. And so the next thing I'd love to play you is a good way to get to know the river. So let's have a look at that. It's really horrible outside, but I thought, what better way to get to know a person, a thing, than when they're at their least kind of appealing. What kind of personality comes out of the river when it's rainy and cold and horrible and nobody's on it and nobody appreciates it. So I'm going to go and discover what kind of person it is when it's being neglected and in the dark and the cold in the middle of the night. It's not really in the middle of the night, it's 5 to 10. So I'm going to go down there at the lowest point of tide, which is at 10:35. I'm going to find my spot and I'm going to see if I can find anything. And I'm definitely going to get wet, but I've got my wet weather gear, I've even got my Wellington boots, so I'm off to the river. Okay, so there's me going off into the river. The reason I wanted to go at that particular time of the day or the night was because one of my favourite things that somebody said to me, they didn't say it in the chair when I was gathering ideas from people, which was great fun. I had a great fun time. The father of one of the children that got in, this young boy, I was saying to him, so, have you got anything you'd like to say about the Thames? He said, oh, no, I don't really, can't really think of anything. And I said, well, do you kind of, live or work on the Thames? Or I said, oh yeah, no, I just work over there. I'm actually here every day. And I was like, really? Well, how would you describe the Thames to somebody who'd never seen it? And he said, well, it's quite forceful, because it has a strong tide. So I think of it as quite a forceful strength of a tide, of a river. And then he said, but the other day I'd never noticed it before, but it was really, really still. It was like it wasn't moving at all. And I was like, really? I'd never noticed, I never thought about that. And then he said, well, yeah, the reason was because it was between tides. It had got to its highest point or its lowest point. And this is when the river kind of comes to its maximum or its minimum. And then it goes the other way. And that was the first time I'd thought about a river stopping. And I was thinking about us, or me, kind of buzzing around London and, at a million miles an hour, never really taking a moment to stop. But then the times that I do, I find myself doing it a lot at the river. When I'm here, I kind of take a moment and it catches me off guard and I find myself kind of drifting off into a nice thought or a horrible thought or whatever seems to be kind of present at the time. And then I thought, well, perhaps this is the time when the river does it, when it's still. It's kind of rushing around and it's got bits of broken up pottery and a dead whale, as somebody mentioned, and various things, people's ashes that have been thrown into the river. There's a couple of people who mentioned that about their connect to the river being a family member or a loved one that they'd said goodbye to by throwing their ashes into the river. So I thought that this was the time that that the river stops and actually maybe looks at us and has a conversation with us or tries to get our attention. So actually that was really a kind of a marker for me last weekend. That was the kind of beginning, and the hardest point about a song, other than actually finding the title, which I had done that, so that's good, is where to begin, what kind of a river is this, and in what state is the river when he's singing the song, and so I decided to be in this still space. So last night I went onto the riverbank, and I suppose then I kind of I went through all of the videos and I made lots and lots of notes because I want to tell you about the process, you see, because I haven't quite finished the song. So here we are. So I've got more things. So lots of people connecting it with a romantic space. So I've thrown a little bit of that in there. The oasis of calm, lots of memories. Well, there's a woman who's talking about. Wait a minute, there's another one. Oasis of calm. Let me check. No. She's talking about assemblages. Yeah, she was working at the Hay Gallery, and there's some kind of exhibition on that this African artist is doing a piece on assemblages. So he's running around the Thames and all over London, finding pieces to turn into a piece of art, assemblages. And I really, really love that word, and she mentions this online. You can have a look. So I really wanted to use that word. So getting back to my first reason for beginning this journey 10 minutes ago was to talk about my favourite line, which is, well, it begins with the song. I'll just play you the beginning, okay? Here we go. First time ever. Okay, so here we go. See if I can remember it. So this piano melody, or the piano feel, happened last night at about kind of 2 or 3 in the morning, when I had a bit of time, when I'd got some kind of words. I don't like to go to the piano before I've got something, otherwise I feel like it's all hard work ahead of me. So I started to do this kind of... Well, actually, I ended up being in this key in the beginning. But then I decided I quite like the idea that it went to the major, so it kind of kept it up a bit. So it starts like this, and then it goes off into the major. So they're the chords that it has. And it really made sense last night, at whatever time of the morning it was, and there was like 1 or 2 cars kind of going up and down Waterloo Bridge, and the river was very still. It was actually almost at its fullest. At 4:30 last night was at its fullest, and it was just a really beautiful evening. It was so kind of between the storm. It was so stormy last night. It was ridiculous. I really felt like I was in the middle of the ocean, because there was like rain pelting and lots of howling noise. And at one point, it felt like the boat was actually going to kind of launch into the river, because it was so windy, and it was like kind of throwing me around. It was all part of the drama. It was very good. So I'm going to play you that bit. So here we go. So I changed the key because it was a bit in the wrong key. So I'm going to put some reverb on my voice, so it gives a little bit of a better effect. Except I need to find the reverb. Da da ha. There we go. Okay, so here we go. You know it. Oh goodness me. You know. Okay, you know that I can't sing. You know where to find me when you're on your way up, or bustle and busy. Enough is enough. Life's sweet assemblages are quick to driftwood away. Be still with me. See, I've forgotten it already. That's not how it is. So I'm actually going to look at my recording and play it back, because I can't remember. Okay. Life's sweet assemblages are quick to driftwood away. Be still with me. So that is the beginning of the song. I do have more, but I'll just stop right there. So you know where to find me is a kind of repeating line. It's like the river. I'm here in whatever way you need me. I'm here if you're having a good time, if you're, if the chips are up and you want to celebrate and you want to be with your friends and you want to chat. But I'm also here if life just gets a bit heavy and you need some calm and space. Because actually this is one of the only places in the whole of London where you can kind of stand and gaze out into nothing and people not think you're weird. If you do that in the middle of a park, people kind of assume something's maybe slightly weird's going on, unless there's water in front of you. Water, if you've got water, then you can kind of get away with anything. But if there's no water, then you're kind of looking suspicious. So the Thames is one of those few places where you can wander around quite happily and no one will bother you, and you can just stand there for hours. And I saw a lot of people last night doing exactly that, and and people just are left to themselves, and it's such a lovely place to, as somebody said, let me see if I can find that bit. What he said was, so many different things that people said. Oh, a very public area with very private thoughts. I really like that. Somebody talked about the river being their home because they actually live on an island in the middle of the Thames, and I thought that was interesting. That it's a guiding force, kind of taking you back to where you belong, to take you back to safety. So, Loving London clip. Okay, Loving London clip. Let's play that. I love London like that. It feels more like the old days. Not that I was here when it was all smoggy and foggy, but when it's a kind of dull light, you imagine it more like it used to have been like kind of eerie heaviness. So actually, maybe rather than me talking non-stop and then not actually getting any of the clips in, I'm just going to pick a random clip and talk about it, because it's a surprise. So there's one here called word cloud. I've got a feeling I know what that is. So let's see what the word cloud is. This is my word cloud from the videos that people said in the listening chair. But I've got to do my own word cloud now. My own memories, my own word cloud. Anyway, the word cloud has lots of words on it, surprisingly, which basically kind of distilled all of these notes so that I could see popping up particular words. And this kind of helps me with my the workflow, because obviously looking at that all at once is not really manageable for my eyes. So I made a little word cloud which so that I could see a bit more clearly the look of that and see what, and also what colours and referenced what kinds of different emotions, or if things are repeating. And then I made my own word cloud, which is a lot messier, and I wrote things in here which are mostly rubbish, because most of the stuff which I did write was rubbish, and I kind of ended up with some half decent lines which I've decided that are good enough to play you. But here are some of the ones that didn't make it. Porcelain head. Tried and tested, certified, confidant, sorry. Shouting drunk, because there was somebody shouting drunk last night. Watch the sun go down, sunset together. What else have we got here? Viscous. Oh, I like the word viscous. That viscous is going in there. Viscous and dust. The idea that the water kind of embalms the dust, the ashes, and takes care of them, so that somebody can revisit their loved one or their friend. I wanted to put that in there. So there's a bit of word cloud for you. And actually, I would love to talk about a specific lyric. So I'm going to see if it's here. Now I've got to find it. It's called Blue and Green. Blue, green. Can I see that one? If you imagine that somebody had never seen the river before, what would you describe the river to be like?
Young, blue and green, fun, lots of boats.
Oh, I love it when he says that. I love it when he says, and lots of boats. It's so cute. It's so cute. I played that lots of times. Basically, what I liked about what he said was that everybody else had kind of been referencing the Thames, not so much on its, personal hygiene or whatever, but more on its just how it made them feel. And this was a really kind of candid observation of how he felt the river was. And obviously, well, with my adult eyes, I don't see a blue and green river. I see a brown river, and quite dirty, as I was kind of close up to it, but not that dirty actually. That was also what was surprising. There wasn't that much litter on it when I was walking down there last night. So that's what I loved about it, was that perhaps the river kind of longs to be this blue and green, sparkly, young, fresh river again. It wants to have lots of boats on it. It's such a shame. A few people have mentioned that the river doesn't have enough usage. It's very underutilized, and there's hardly any traffic on the river. And it's think of all the traffic in London, and think of all the traffic that would be on the river. But I suppose that would just add to maybe pollution on the river. But I'm sure we could find a way around it. We've gone to the moon, haven't we? So let's play. You've already heard that. So I'm going to play it now, right? And what I liked about it, was that the in this part of the song, the kind of the Thames becomes a kind of daydreams of what it's really what it would be like. It's like young eyes seeing him in a different light, and he kind of feels very kind of thank you so much, and a bit kind of embarrassed, but so. So I'll play that. But I'm probably not going to remember it. So I'll play up until the end of that. How about that? Okay, here we go. Bit more reverb. Da, da, da. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm going to get it all wrong. I haven't had any sleep. I had 2 hours sleep. know where to find me when you're on your way up, or bustle and busy, enough is enough. Life's sweet assemblages are quick to driftwood away. Be still with me. I love that, be still with me. Be still. You know where to find me for a good time, with a lack of composure or just a friendly hello. We go a long way back, back to nothing at all. Be still with me. Blue and green, fresh eyes on me. I'm young again, all things to men, with bite-sized lifeboats. I'll save your smashed up head. Be still with me. So that wasn't very elegantly sung, because I couldn't remember exactly how it went. But at the end there, I'm referencing this young girl, Charlotte, who found a piece of pottery. I was very excited. This was one of the first ones in the boat, in the chair, the boat, the gloves. She was in the chair, and she was saying that she'd found this piece of pottery, and it was a Victorian piece of pottery, I think, and it was of a head, but the body of it had kind of disappeared. But they knew it was a jug, and apparently it was very old. But it was all smashed up. And I liked the idea that, you know, it's obviously could be referencing somebody having a nightmare and not being able to cope with life's trials. But it could also just be about a jug. And to a river, perhaps it's the same. We don't know, because I'm not a river. So what else? Well, let's pick up another. Let's pick up another clip that Alex has prepared for me. So let's have It's Not Fair. I heard somebody else had 4 days in here. If I had 4 days, I could definitely write a song. But I've got not even 1 day. Not even a full day. Oh. That's 2 in a row now. It's 2 in a row that I haven't managed to do in time. Okay. There's me tapping away. Clearly very kind of not having a good time. And I kind of really just pulled these lyrics together at about, I don't know, 11 or 12 o'clock today, after a whole night of kind of struggling and feeling like I'm not good enough, and why can't I write any lyrics, and I've got pages and pages and pages of stuff here, and why isn't there anything good in there? But sometimes, like this morning, after I'd kind of relaxed and I felt, okay, well, I'm just going to explain the song instead and just not write it, and then all of a sudden, you know, things started to ease up, and I started to not feel so much pressure, and then I started to piece the song together. So I should have just told myself that earlier, but there we go. I spent a lot of time kind of procrastinating, wandering around, making myself lots of coffee, and you know, going for a walk on the Thames in my boots and things like that. I found a bag, somebody's bag. I don't know if I probably meant to give it in. I was hoping that there might be some magic lyric in there or something like a steal. Not steal, obviously. But there isn't. It's just some homework. But I might reference that in the lyrics somewhere. This idea of kind of soggy homework, or that your life's work has been thrown away or washed up. Make some kind of reference to it. So it wasn't easy last night. I'm feeling much more chirpy now. But yeah, I'm glad, because I was kind of thinking, what am I going to do today? You know, I haven't written anything, and I'm in this beautiful boat, and everything's set up, and I've got the most amazing view, and I'm so lucky, and all of these things. But yeah, it just wasn't coming. Sometimes, you know, I think, I just need coffee, and that's fine. And then if I believe that, then I feel confident. But I was just not confident enough to believe that it was just the coffee. What have we got then? Loving London, Waterloo Bridge. Have we seen that? Click. I know what that's about. I could talk to. Yes, the click. bane of my life.
But I'm looking for things to blame now because it's 4 o'clock and people are going to start coming in here now. And I blamed this partly. This is my own fault. I wanted to capture a time lapse of, me writing this song, capturing me in different places writing the song. But the truth is, I haven't written the song. And every half a minute, this camera goes click like that, and it drives me nuts. It's absolutely driving me nuts. It's every half a minute that I haven't written something. It's every half a minute that goes by that I'm half a minute closer to the deadline of not having written the song.
Okay.
See, of course, when you're waiting for it, then it happens very slowly. But when you're not waiting for it and you're desperately trying to write some lyrics, it happens very quickly. It just sounds like click, 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 and before you know it, it's 5 in the morning. You're exhausted, and I haven't written any of the song. And now it's 4 in the afternoon, and I haven't written any of the song. I have written a bit.
Anyway, I'm never going to do that again. It's a bit stupid, really. I'm up here in this beautiful boat, and then kind of, haunted by the sound of this camera click. Okay, what else can we play? I'll tell you what. Why don't we take some Twitter questions? Have we got any Twitter questions? Good one. Okay.
Do you ever find you have no desire to write these Heap songs since you have to write them so quickly?
So somebody said, do I have any desire to not do these Heap songs because I basically have to do them so quickly? Yes, of course. I was lying in here going, why can't I just enjoy the view? Why do I have to write a damn song? But it's the whole reason I'm in here is because I'm writing a song. I wouldn't be able to be in here if I wasn't being a writer, so can't have it all. But yeah, I mean, the reason I do set myself these deadlines is because, honestly, if I didn't have the deadlines, I don't think I'd write songs. I need to have deadlines, because the minute I have a break, I've just become the laziest person on earth. I don't want to see a piano, I don't want to think about lyrics, I want to go to the movies, I want to go on holiday, I want to cycle, I usually just go and play the piano, but that's not work, that's different, that's just playing the piano. Okay, so what next? Good one. Okay, the Heap song working practice. Good. Heap song working practice, please. Okay, a lull, clearly.
Daylight is starting to appear.
Okay. I'm not having a good time. I'm probably just going to play the same thing over and over again because that's the only bit that I've got. Make me feel slightly better. And then it makes me feel rubbish because I haven't read anything else, and then I'm probably going to stop. Yes. So I did spend a lot of time kind of just hoping that something would just kind of flutter in front of my brain and out would come a lyric. But I have come up with some more lyrics, so maybe I should sing you some more. But I guess this is about a beginning of a process. I wanted the boat and London to speak to me, and I feel like what I'm really excited about is I don't think this song sounds like any other song that I've written. So that's a real achievement because it is trying to. I want to make something new. I want to make something that doesn't sound like something else I've done, and that's the kind of goal for every song so far that I ever do, is to try not to repeat myself, which some people don't like because they want me to repeat certain types of songs. So maybe I'll play you a little bit more. Okay. So the second verse. Oh, somebody mentioned about the ice and the Thames freezing over. A couple of 100 years ago, whenever the last big freeze was, and lots of people were referencing the lyric. Lots of people were referencing the water as a kind of vital organ of some sort, like a heart or a lung or the arteries. So I've thrown that in there, but I haven't yet sung this because I was just writing that up there when they were putting the cameras in. So okay, let's do the second verse. You know where to find me if something's on your mind. I can sense it a mile off. You've frozen and wintered, heart, lung, or artery. I am whichever you need. Be still with me. What else have I got? You know where to find me if you're popping the question, because a lot of people said that. Or about to let go, surprise me today. And that's all I've got. Yeah, so that's as far as I got. But I have got a melody of a chorus, which I'll play you. But this is going to sound really terrible, because I have to quite sing out, and I'll do my best. Okay, here we go. Okay, I have got some lyrics. What are they? I really don't think this is a good idea, but I'll sing you them anyway. Basically, I wanted to get the fact that the river also has its off days, just like we do. Some days we walk out of the house and we're like, I am it. I'm cool. I look good today. Feeling good. Da da da. And other days you walk out the house and you go, nobody look at me. I'm feeling terrible. I'm gonna burst into tears at any moment. And I feel like the river has these days too. Because some days you look at it and it just looks absolutely beautiful. All the lights are flickering inside it. I suppose it's more to do with the lens of who's looking into the river. Okay, pretty bad lyrics, but here we go. Okay, here we go. On an off day, I'm a great big dirty mess. Depends who's looking through the lens. Okay, that's really cheesy. But that's where a song begins, you see, at these cheesy beginnings, which are really awful. And most people would kind of go, okay, well, I can't write lyrics. And then they would stop. And the only difference is that I keep going. I think that anyone could probably get to these points if you just take enough time over writing a lyric. Because that's basically all I do. You know, I write songs. Actually, that's not true. I spend very little time writing songs. But when I do, I spend a lot of time doing it, if that makes any sense. So I've got things like, if love overwhelms you, happiness shrieks, ripples in time, shouting drunk, make a mess of me, I'm okay with being misunderstood, be still with me. I treat you equally, I've got my own insecurities. I trust you equally. I can be ruthless. Make a spectacle of yourself. Yeah, they're the kind of lyrics. But I'll get there. But I think it's a lovely beginning to a song, and I'm very happy with it. So I think I'm going to play something called Searching for the Song. So this is me trying to find the scraps of the beginning, something to cling on to. I'm about to make some coffee, because I think I like to drink coffee before I start writing lyrics. So I think there's some coffee in here. That's called procrastinating. And I'm not a massive fan of coffee. Going to put it in the cafetiere, boil the kettle. Look at my space. Isn't it lovely? Yes. So that's me. I'm about to begin my songwriting. I'm going to gaze out the window. Drink this. Coffee doesn't smell very nice. That particular coffee doesn't smell very nice. Obviously, some coffee smells delicious, but that would do. So I'm gonna think of all of the things that the Thames remind me of, and my relationship with it, and I'm gonna create my own little word cloud, like this one. And I'm going to do that for the next hour or so. Yeah, I guess I just, I don't know. I was hoping to finish a song, but, you know, I think it's hopefully interesting just to hear the process of a song. And I've got a feeling the song's going to be very dear to me, because I have spent so much time here, and I have such a history with it here with my family, and such good times and bad times too. And I want to do the river proud, and I want to do my memories proud. So I'm going to write a nice song. Now the thing is, it's actually just going to be on the piano, this song. So this is going to be my piano song for the album, because I always have one. And so this one's going to be the piano one on the album. And the way I'm going to record it, if anybody knows anyone in Edinburgh, is I've only actually, because I've only written the beginning of it, I'll probably only play the beginning of it in people's houses now and do the end of it when I've written the end of it in other people's houses. But the idea is to go to people's houses, anyone's house. If you have a piano and you know somebody who has a piano in Edinburgh, send them my way, piano@imogenheap.com. Somebody's nodding in the room, which is good. So you basically, I'm going to be shooting myself. Well, no, I'm not going to be shooting. Alex is going to be shooting me in the position like this, playing the piano, and then from behind, and then you're going to see all the different pianos changing, and I'm going to change into different outfits depending on whose house it is. So if somebody has a flat cap and like a walking stick and all that kind of stuff, then I'm going to put it on, and that's going to be good. So I'm basically going to sing the song many, many times over in different people's houses, and then we're going to edit it together, and that's going to be the music and the video. And I'm quite excited about that, because the idea is, you know, to find me, I can be at home. It's anyone kind of. It is about the river, but it's also about us. It's about our relationship to our friends and our families or our loved ones. It's about, you know, saying, I'm here for you. I'm here for you whenever you need me, in whichever way you need me. If you need me as a shoulder, or you need me to just be shouted at, or a punch bag, or whatever you need, I'm here. So that's, you know, I write it from the inspiration of the Thames, but often my songs, you know, are maybe not the inspiration you'd expect when you listen to them. But, you know, I let you in on this secret because it's not really a secret. So I guess what I might do, if anyone's downstairs, because I know that there's people watching online. Hello, everyone online. But there's also lots of people in the Claw Ballroom in the adjacent building who's watching the stream downstairs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down with a little camera crew, and we're going to shoot the first official recording for the video downstairs, because we're here, so we might as well. So he's going to get me into position. I don't think it's going to be amplified because they don't know that I'm coming down there. But it's going to be basically me singing the first verse of the song. So I better do a little practice down there when I get down there. And then so that's what you'll see with the video when I finish it. So thank you everyone for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and a massive thank you to Artangel and for everyone getting me into this fantastic room. I'm so excited, and tonight I am going to enjoy this room with my man Thomas, and my family are going to come up and have dinner here, and and really enjoy the space now that I've kind of done my work, So I'm going to leave you with the time lapse that Alex has put together. And a big thank you to everyone, and see you around. Bye-bye.
You know where to find me when you're on your way up. The bustle and busy, enough is enough. Life's sweet assemblages are quick to driftwood away. Be still with me. You know where to find me for a good time, with a lack of composure or just a friendly hello. We go a long way back to nothing at all. Still, be still with me. Blue and green, fresh eyes on me. I'm young again, all things to men, with bite-sized lifeboats. I'll fix your smashed up head. Be still with me. So I'm gonna sing, no, I'm not gonna sing the chorus, I'm just gonna play the chorus. This with. You know where to find me, something's on your mind. I can sense it of my love, you've frozen and wintered. Heart, lung or artery, I am whichever you need. Be still with me. I'll sing some kind of random words for the chorus. Love overwhelms you and it ripples in time. I'm shouting drunk, make a mess of me. If love